Today, we're delving into the story of Kelly Perry and David Heisler, a couple whose volatile relationship culminated in a custody battle and ended in unimaginable tragedy. This is a case that's as shocking as it is heartbreaking. Buckle up as we uncover the details of a scheme that spiraled out of control, leading to the disappearance of a devoted father.
And he's missing.
Was anybody with you at the court hearing?
Frank drove me there.
Frank who?
Frank McCard.
You made mention that yours and he relationship is not a romantic. Is that
No.
That's correct?
That's correct.
So again, you tell us the relationship between you and Frank.
Me and Frank are, I guess you would say, best friends.
So did Frank ever take you over to the Heisler's house?
Our story begins in the quiet suburbs of Nevada, where Kelly Perry and David Heisler once shared a life together. Like many young couples, their relationship was filled with highs and lows, but the birth of their daughter brought a new layer of complexity. Unfortunately, instead of strengthening their bond, it deepened their divide. As their relationship deteriorated, their daughter became the center of a bitter custody battle.
The very beginning of when we became friends, but it never was like anything serious like that.
What changed?
Just the fact that I didn't feel that way towards him. Like, I felt he's more of a friend, not like boyfriend type.
How long ago was that?
That was
David, a loving father, fought relentlessly for custody, determined to provide a stable environment for his daughter. Kelly, on the other hand, portrayed herself as the better caregiver. What began as a legal dispute soon turned into a highly personal war of accusations and grievances. But it wasn't just the courtroom drama that would escalate, it was the choices made outside the courthouse that would seal David's fate.
You guys may have been intimate.
maybe like three, maybe
Three?
4. A lot of people were referring to me as Frank's girlfriend or Hollywood's girlfriend, and I was like, no, I'm not his girlfriend. Like, we're just friends. And I got real sick of everywhere I went. People like, oh, that's Hollywood's girl. No, dude, we're not together like that. We're just friends.
So would it be safe to say that Frank probably has somewhat of a little obsession with you?
I'm sure he has feelings.
Kelly Perry, feeling increasingly cornered and desperate, confided in a friend. What happened next is nothing short of chilling. The friend suggested a dangerous and illegal solution: kidnapping David Heisler. A plan was hatched, one that would not only violate the law but would also lead to irreversible consequences.
Things that have happened at visits or whatever.
It angers him.
It doesn't really anger him. Like, he doesn't get like angry like the Hulk type angry or anything like that. Like, he gets kind of frustrated, I guess you would say. Like, it bothers him that I'm hurting,
Yeah.
I guess. When you see your friend going through such an emotional roller coaster with all the stuff that went on through my custody case.
On a warm summer evening, the plan was set into motion. Kelly's accomplices, including the friend who proposed the idea, tracked David to his home. Under the cover of darkness, they carried out the abduction with terrifying precision. David was taken from his home, and from his daughter's life, never to be seen alive again.
Try to think of one.
Like sometimes they've been very vindictive towards me, or like they purposely take things away from me with Mariah that they know mean stuff to me. Like, for instance, her dance recital. Every year since she started dance, I've been there to get her ready for dance recital. It's kind of like a mommy and me type thing. Like, I would take her and get her hair done, and we'd do makeup and spend the whole day just with dance recital. Well, this year, Debbie was upset at me because a couple days before her recital, when she went to dance class, I showed up to her dance class. Debbie wasn't there. David wasn't there. Debbie's mom was there. Mariah was already in the studio, and she comes out and she says, Mommy, I need to go potty. I need your help. So I walk through the studio to the bathroom with her. It's a mom thing, you know, like your kid asks you for help, of course you're going to go help them. I wasn't thinking.
The community was thrown into chaos as news of David's disappearance spread. Friends and family rallied together, hoping for his safe return. But as days turned into weeks, hope began to fade. Investigators worked tirelessly, piecing together evidence and following leads that ultimately pointed back to Kelly Perry and her associates.
Get her butt back to class right now and this and that. And I'm like, whoa, like I was just helping my daughter go to the bathroom. I'm not doing anything wrong. Well, would you prefer me to let her pee her pants? Like,
Yeah.
her great-grandma wasn't in any way, shape, or form going to jump up and go help her. She wasn't about to go ask her teacher to help her go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did what any mom would. I went to the bathroom and helped my daughter. Well, Debbie came storming into the dance studio, and she comes up behind me and she taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and I look at her and she goes, "Outside now." And I was just like, anyways, like, I'm watching my daughter dance. This is not the time or place for that. And I just turned around and continued to watch my daughter dance. So she starts texting me, and we got into like a verbal, or not verbal, but text altercation, I guess you would say. And there was some very harsh things said on both our parts through those text messages.
Explain those.
Like, she basically told me that she was going to make sure that I didn't come to any more dance classes with my daughter. I said, well, you can't stop me from being here. It's my daughter's dance class. Oh, yes, I can, and yes, I will. She told me, because of your attitude and your mouth, you're not going to see Mariah for her dance recital until you go there the time of her recital. You're not going to be getting her ready. I'm not opening my home up to you to do so. So I'll get your daughter ready for her dance recital. As a mom, it crushes you because it's been going on for so long between me and Debbie, like constant battle over my daughter. With Daddy missing, Mariah was probably scared. She's probably sad. As her mom, I just want to be there to comfort those feelings for her, you know? And I tried to explain that to Debbie, like, as much as you're missing your son and wish that you could hug him right now, I miss my daughter and want to hug her right now. So it's really hard knowing that my little girl is hurting right now. And I can't be a mom and be there for her. Like, I think both of us we both want to be civil and want to be the parents to our daughter, but his parents are like in his ear telling him one thing and he's feeling another. And
what do you think he's feeling?
Well, I know just because of like texts and stuff that he's sent me in the past that he wants us to be together. He wants us to be a family with our daughter, but he doesn't know how to make that work because he lives with his parents, and obviously his parents have the say in who he lives with if he's at their house. He knows that Debbie isn't okay with me and him being together after all the conflict that's gone on and whatnot. I think he's kind of had a lot of mixed feelings about that.
You didn't delete any text messages on your phone?
No. There was nothing deleted. I didn't talk to him for like the remainder of the day, and then all of a sudden, I think I don't know what time it was, but he texted me later that evening and was like, "Are you okay now?"
So he started the conversation back up?
He started the conversation back up and was trying to get me to go to his house again.
So how come you decided you would go to the house again?
I didn't go to the house again.
I know you didn't. You said you didn't go. What it means, you told him you would.
I was telling him I would because I was like, okay, maybe.
What makes me think that there were some messages deleted? Because all of a sudden he says, okay, you'll be here. I'll see you at 3:20. Because there were, like, you guys had talked that you would be there at 3:20, but it doesn't.
No, we never talked about me being there at 3:20. On Saturday when
there wasn't any messages for on Saturday that said that.
No, I know, but on Saturday when we were talking about me going over there, I had asked him at one point what time his dad goes to work.
He said
I don't remember what day it was, but I had asked him what time his dad goes to work, and that's why he said, so you'll be here at 3:20. Like, he was assuming because I asked him what time his dad went to work that I was going to show up there.
I mean, so far as to ask for proof that he wasn't there. I mean, he sent those pictures to you.
Yeah, I didn't ask him for those pictures on Sunday, though. I had asked him for proof on Saturday when I was telling him I'm on my way there, prove to me that he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he was like beating around every question that I was asking him. And I kind of got the feeling like there was something he wasn't trying to say to me. And so I was like, then prove it. Prove to me that your dad's not there. And he's like, how? And I said, I don't know. Go take a picture of his car not in the driveway or something. I don't know. And then all of a sudden Sunday, he sends me the pictures
You
that I
asked
asked for on Saturday.
You asked specifically to take a picture of the garage, and you asked
I
specifically to
couldn't,
take a picture
I don't
of the
remember
bedroom.
what specifically I said to him, but I had said, that was on Saturday that I said that to him, that I
You asked
said,
for those
prove
two
to me that
pictures.
he's not there. And I said, I don't know, take a picture of his car not in the garage or him not in his room or whatever. I don't know exactly my wording on it or whatever, but then he didn't send those pictures to me until Sunday.
You guys are having those conversations. Mm-hmm. You're still talking to him. He sent you those pictures, and then you just stopped after you said good.
Yeah, and the good text.
Because you text after you saw those pictures.
Like the text where it says good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was half asleep, and I remember, like, I opened my eyes and I looked at my phone, saw the pictures, and he said, he's at work, see? Mm-hmm. Or whatever it was that he said on there, and I just was like, good.
So then you're telling you woke up the next morning when that was weird that he sent you those pictures.
Yeah, because I woke up and I
called him on the phone.
I didn't remember.
Which is something you don't normally do.
I didn't remember when I had woke up that I had already seen those texts half asleep. Mm-hmm. I was looking at him going, why would he send me these texts? And
why would you think that when you've asked him the last day and a half to send you those texts?
Because it didn't click with me because I just barely woke up, I guess. I don't know, like.
When you were making these texts, Friday night and Saturday night, you were in your room, nobody else was around you?
Tammy was around me because
was Frank around?
Frank was not around because I'm trying to think. I believe it was, I can't remember if it was Thursday, somewhere around like Thursday or Friday was when he moved out.
So as far as you know, you don't think he's been at the house since that night, Friday night? He wasn't there when you were sending texts, right? No, he wasn't there that Saturday night?
No.
And then he hasn't been there this whole week?
No, he hasn't spent the night there. He's been there to visit and stuff during the day or whatever, but he hasn't.
Have you guys had correspondence since Tuesday-ish by phone?
You text? Yeah, you text Frank very much?
We text and we call each other when he actually will answer his phone when I call. Mm-hmm. He's not very good about answering phone calls, but
he's okay with text?
Yeah.
How often do you text him, you think?
We text pretty much every day.
Every single day?
I mean, we're constantly texting.
Have you deleted any of his texts off your phone in the last little while?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a guy here who has a very unhealthy, what's the word? He's addicted to you. He's got this little, you got this guy who runs around wanting to be with you, and you're.
Frank is a very lonely person.
So he'd probably do.
He has
anything to get you to be his only.
He has no family, really, no friends.
He has you.
He has me and Tammy. Like, Tammy and her husband are very caring people. They have giant hearts. They open their home up to pretty much anybody.
I'm going to be honest with you. Frank's a wild card in my mind with him, the feelings that he has for you. In court, they have recording systems in the courts, so everything that people say in the courts are heard. Right. After the judge gave the ruling, he tells you he'll fix this. Why do you think he said that? He said, I will fix this. That's what he told me. I'll fix this.
I don't remember him saying that to me.
So
I'm at the court hearing for custody?
When the judge made the final ruling on June 13th.
I know he was saying a lot of stuff when we came out of the courtroom to David. Like, he was like...
Like what?
Like, he was angry about the fact that David was getting custody and I was still going to continue...
Really angry.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, will you just shut up? Like,
no, tell us something.
What did he say?
I am trying to think exact words, but he was just like, as we're going down the stairs, he was saying stuff like, oh, the state's okay with you fucking touching your kids, but if you're convicted of drugs or some shit, I don't remember exactly, but he was like referring to the fact that my daughter had made accusations about her dad touching her and about her dad masturbating to pornography in front of her, and nothing was ever done about it. Like, David kind of just like walked free and acted like he had done nothing wrong. Even though my little girl is still traumatized over it, she still to this day talks about things that she saw in those videos that he was watching. So he was pissed off about that David can get by with doing this in the presence of a 4-year-old little girl, but he gets to get custody of her and I have to have supervised visits. He was angry about that because he's a parent too. He doesn't like the fact that David didn't even get so much as a slap on the freaking wrist over it. You know, I was angry about that too, but I mean, I've kind of just had to force myself to kind of let it go, I guess.
He wants you to be happy. This is what I think. He wants you to be happy. Obviously, having your daughter will make you happy. That's engrossed your entire life for the last almost 2 years.
That's all I wanted.
He sees that.
To be a part of my daughter's
He's
life.
with you in the court, trying to help you get that taken care of, doing everything he can. He's driving you back and forth, driving you visitation rights. I think he found out that he was home alone, which isn't normal. David's not normally home alone. He's either got his daughter there, or his mom there, or his dad there.
Frank would have known that, like, my daughter and Debbie weren't home, but I don't know. I don't think he would know, like, Ken's work schedule or anything. Like, that's never been talked about between us, like.
Well, that's the key with you.
What his work schedule
I think
is.
somehow you let him know, whether you meant to or not meant to, let him know that David's home alone that night.
Yeah, I don't.
And the key is,
ever telling him anything.
Never sent a text, never sent nothing. He wasn't with you that night you were sending a text. Didn't come in your room and happen to see that text when you said you were falling asleep.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, he wasn't at my house when I went to bed that night. So I don't think he was there at all during the night.
I think he was going there to make a point with him. He was upset that you were going to go over to his house and maybe thinking you're going to start another relationship with this guy. Who just stole your daughter from you. And he's gonna teach him a lesson, and things went south from there. Honestly, I think you know that that's what happened in your heart. Whether or not you're willing to say that or not, I think you know that. And I think you're not willing to tell us that. We will find that out. And right now is your opportunity to get this. Whether you meant to let him know that, or whether you did it on purpose or you did it on accident. This is the time that you need to come clean and tell us, because if you don't, after this, your daughter is gone. You will never see her again. You understand that, right?
I do understand that.
And so if you have anything
I'm trying to
at
give you
all,
guys all the information that I can recall, like.
I mean, we've got your phone. It's got GPS on it.
Right.
The same thing with Frank's.
We've got Frank's phone.
We're gonna find out what happened. It's just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
Whether you help us figure out what really happened, or whether we find out by having to go through people's phones and do this the hard way, the long way. Not that we're doing it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do it.
It's gonna come out. There's just no way it's not gonna come out.
Yeah.
So right now is your opportunity to share anything with us that you want. So we have a county attorney that's listening in on this, and he can make any deals or recommendations with you right now. But after this, you walk out the door, it's done.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. We're going to give you a minute to think about it. We're going to go talk and compare notes and stuff like that. But just so you know, that's where we're at, and that's kind of what the direction we're heading. Before we start, because there's two of us in here and the door's shut, it's actually, you have to use a key to get out. I'm just going to read you your rights. You're still free to go. You can leave whenever you want, but I just want you to understand we're going to kind of get into a little bit more meat of this conversation. And so just want you to know you have the right to have an attorney. If you can't afford one will be appointed unto you to represent you if you wish. If at any time during this conversation you don't want to talk to us anymore, you can just say, I'm done talking, or you can tell us you just want your attorney.
Do you understand?
Do you understand those?
So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney with you present while you're being talked to. And then if you can't afford one, will be appointed to you by the courts.
So this is my concern when I talked about deleted messages. You said Frankie and you guys communicate all the time. You're constantly texting at least every day, right? In your phone, and under Frankie, this is when he gets mad about Will Davis, right? And that was on Saturday. Then Sunday morning at 1:44 a.m., you sent him a message. And then after that, there hasn't been a message in this phone until yesterday at 10:13 a.m. So that's almost an entire week you went without even sending him a message, not one time.
I don't know why they're not on my phone, because
I have no idea. So that's what I'm talking about. So now you understand that we're going to send this to the crime lab.
Right.
That crime lab will pull open anything on the phone. They'll pull any deleted messages, anything like that, to get all the records from Verizon, everything like that. So we'll have
anything
deleted,
anything received,
right?
Any
voicemails, pictures, all that stuff. Everything will have that stuff.
Web links, anything like that.
Why that's weird that all of a sudden that there's nothing.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't know why. It's like
So,
that text app that's on there, like it. I don't know if it like deletes messages after it gets
nobody else is all the
but then it has it prior to. That doesn't make sense.
No, I don't know. Like it does that all the time. Like I'll go in there and look for a message that I'm trying to find, and it won't be there. So I don't know if it's the app or what it is. I don't know.
Did you tell Frank that Dave's alone at home?
I don't think I ever told him that. Like.
This isn't a time for.
This is the
time to be sure.
No, I
do you understand what's at stake here? Do you understand? There's someone's life that's probably been taken.
I do understand.
You understand that, and it's the father of your child.
I know. I understand this is a serious thing, and I'm.
So we're toying with in our head. Either you had something to do with it and had knowledge of it, or this rogue crazy boyfriend of yours went and did it on his own. Either way, you know what happened, Kelly. You do. I just don't know what battle you're fighting inside that you think you can't tell us what's going on. If you're worried about being in trouble, we can get through that. Again, like we said, the county attorney's here. He's listening. If there's something you'd like to say to him, you can say that.
We're welcome.
I don't know what you're fighting with. I can only imagine the remorse that you're going through.
But whatever it is, it needs to end now. Because if we find out later, or we crack this a different way, no one's going to work with you. It's done. No one's going to work with you anymore. Your child's gone. That's it. They're going to be with Debbie and Ken for the rest of her life, and you won't have that opportunity to have your daughter. So we need it now. We're done playing around. It's been an entire week and a day now. So what happened? Tell us.
You don't need to protect Frank. Frank's a big boy.
No, I know that.
Well, tell us.
Then tell us what happened. Please, I'm asking you. Not even necessarily that a family needs closure, but at the same time, this has got to be eating you up. This isn't you. I think a bad choice was made. A really bad choice was made. But guess what? It wasn't your idea, and we know that.
So help us out. Tell us
what happened to David.
I don't know what happened to David.
What have you heard? There's two stories. So it's either you were 100% involved and you orchestrated this, or somebody did it on his own and then told you about it. What happened?
Help us out now so we can help you out. So we can protect you and your daughter.
That girl needs at least one parent in her life.
I know.
So what are you doing? What is so hard about this? We're not stupid, Kelly. I think you know that.
I know you're not.
You're not either. A bad choice was made. What happened to David? The last text that you sent to him at 3:46. What happened after 3:46, Kelly? I promise the way you're feeling right now, I'm not even going to pretend to imagine. I can't imagine how you've probably been feeling all week, but I bet some of that weight on your shoulders will be lifted once we start to talk about it.
I'm just scared.
Of her. Kelly, who are you scared of?
Scared of not being with Mariah.
Well, I promise you, if we keep going down the road
Where we are,
it's gonna
it will be that way. If you were involved, there's still things we can do to help you
I
have.
promise you there's a light at the end of this tunnel.
You just gotta
But
open
if
that
you
door.
don't help, none of those doors will be open for you.
Where is David?
I don't know. I
Where
don't know where he took him.
did Frank? You don't know where Frank took him?
Was he just supposed to scare him when he went there? And then it got out of hand?
I didn't want him to get hurt.
No one says you did. That's the thing. Kelly, we know you know something about it. We know you do. You're a good person because you're here talking
He
to
was
us
just
today.
supposed to scare me into letting me have my daughter back.
Kelly, did Frank go to his house?
Yes,
Who'd he go with?
I was there.
You were there? Who else was there?
Nobody.
So it was you. What happened at the house?
I knocked on the door and Frank pushed me out of the way. He was trying to get David and David was fighting back and I was crouched in the corner because I didn't want to be there.
Did you guys get in David's car?
Yeah,
And then where did you drive it?
he dropped me off by, I don't know what the street is called, on the freeway. And I don't know where he went after that.
He dropped you off on the freeway.
Like, you get off the exit of the freeway, like you're going on River Road. I don't know what it's called.
South River Road by the airport.
I guess. I don't know.
How was David when you got out of the
He was
vehicle?
in the back seat.
Was he with you?
Yeah.
Was he hurt?
I know that they had like a scuffle and
Someone was bleeding.
I think, I don't know where he was bleeding from, but David was bleeding and he went to the car and Frank made him get in the back seat.
And he just got in on his own accord?
Not at first, and then like he was trying to like fight against Frankie, and then Frankie talked him into just cooperating with him. Frankie kept telling him that if he didn't cooperate, he was gonna kill both of us.
So there are some things in that vehicle when it was recovered in Beaver Dam that would make us believe that a firearm was involved.
I never saw a gun. I don't know. I know he had like a little, like, not a backpack, but like a little,
Like a fanny pack he carried?
yeah. I don't know what was in it. And then he pulled over and made me get out of the car.
And then he drove out to the Arizona Strip?
I don't know where he went after that. Like, I wanted to talk to you guys and tell you guys, but I'm scared.
Who are you scared of? Frankie? Or are you scared about not seeing Mariah?
I was scared of a lot of different things.
Who drove you there?
So we have video surveillance of David's car leaving with people in it.
And vehicles coming and going.
And so that vehicle leaves at 4:50 something. How long were you guys at the house? 4:56 is when that car leaves.
I don't even know. Like, it all happened so fast. I don't even know how long we were there.
So how did you get there, though? How did you get to the house? Who took you there? I'll tell you right now, I know what car was there. And it's sitting in the driveway at the other house. So,
Who drove you there?
who drove you there?
Frankie drove the car there and then Tammy left. But she didn't know, like...
She was there for 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
So Tammy knows what happened.
She doesn't know what happened.
But she knows that you know something.
She knew that we were going over there. She didn't know, like... I didn't even really know, like, what Frankie's plan was.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that he was upset and he wanted to, like, make David understand the pain that I was feeling over not being with my daughter. But I kept telling him I didn't want to be there. I don't want to go. I don't want no part of that. Like,
were you guys wearing gloves or anything like that when you were with the vehicle?
I think he was wearing gloves.
There's a glove print in the back seat or in the back on the door on the driver or passenger side. It's a gloved hand. He didn't tell you where he left the vehicle or anything like that?
No. Me and Tammy were going to Mesquite because she had birthday money that she had to spend in Mesquite. He asked us to pick him up on the way.
Uh-huh.
And he was at the freeway exit by Beaver Dam.
So how did it come up that, hey, we need to ride over to
Frankie
David's
had
house?
been talking about it for a while that he was going to go take care of David. And I was like, I don't even want to know what that means or what you're thinking. I don't want to know anything about it. Don't talk to me about it. That night, David was texting me, asking me to go over there. Frankie was like, go over there. He was like, go ahead, go over there. He's like, I'll scare him. And I didn't think it was going to be like that. I've had nightmares about it.
I'm sure you have.
Because I didn't know that he was going to do all that. Like, I just thought he was going to, like, scare him.
No, I'm here to tell you, Frankie's batshit crazy. This guy is nuts. Absolutely crazy. But again, I'm really, really glad the county attorney's here and is listening to you and seeing your remorse. But we've got to know every detail.
Let's go to the details. So you decided, he's been talking about this for a while. You guys decided that tonight's the night.
The breakthrough came when one of the accomplices was brought in for questioning. Under the weight of mounting evidence, they cracked, revealing the sinister details of the kidnapping plot. Their confession led to the arrest of Kelly Perry, who was then subjected to a grueling interrogation.
Okay. What happened from there?
I knocked on the door and David opened the door and Frankie pushed me out of the way.
So Frankie pushed you out of the way so that he could get to David.
Yeah.
Where was their little tussle at?
He pushed me out of the way, like right inside the front door. And like I was crouched in the corner, like up against the door. And David was like...
During the interrogation, Kelly's demeanor fluctuated between defiance and desperation. She denied orchestrating the plan, blaming her accomplices for taking things too far. But as investigators pressed on, inconsistencies in her story began to emerge.
In the living room, by the couch, and then I saw him open the garage door to go out in the garage, and then he got David's keys and he asked me to put the car in the garage. So I pulled the car in the garage. He got David in the back seat of the car. At some point, David came back inside. I think that's when they got in the tussle by the garage door, like going out to the garage.
Is that where the blood came from?
I think that's where the blood came from.
Tussle, what do you mean?
Like, they were like...
Wrestling, or did he get punched?
Frankie hit him, but I don't know how many times he hit him. But I remember seeing him like hit David, and David was hitting back to him and like trying to push him off of him. I was just like scared the whole time, and I was just like trying not to look or see what was going on.
The trial that followed was a spectacle, drawing widespread media attention. Prosecutors painted Kelly as the mastermind behind the kidnapping, while her defense team argued that she had been manipulated. Witness testimonies and forensic evidence painted a grim picture of David's final moments. In the end, justice was served, but it came too late for David Heisler. The court sentenced Kelly Perry and her accomplices to lengthy prison terms, ensuring they would never harm another family again.
What was going to happen? I can't remember which way he went, but we ended up going on the freeway, and he dropped me off. David kept asking me, why are you doing this? And I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And Frankie told him...
Frankie's crazy, I'm telling you.
Told him,
You
said
just found
she's
out.
not doing anything. She said she's hostage too. And I got on the car, and he just like left. And I told Tammy where I was at, and she came and picked me up.
Did she talk to you?
She asked where Frankie was, and I said, I don't know where he went. We went to Mesquite, me and her. Frankie called us when we were on our way to Mesquite and asked if we could pick him up on our way to Mesquite.
In Beaver Dam.
About what time do you think that was?
I don't know.
Was it light outside?
I was like outside.
Did you talk to Tammy about what happened?
No.
She hadn't asked questions?
No.
Does she come from a lifestyle where people do
No.
kill people, kidnap people, kill them, and drop their bodies out in the desert?
No. I think she's probably just as scared as I am right now.
Probably. So you've told no one about this?
No.
Because I'll be honest with you, someone's telling someone, and people are continuing to call the police department.
I haven't said anything to anybody about it.
Is there anything else you can think of that night that we should know about? Any possibilities of maybe where Frank might have taken David?
David's story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of desperation and poor choices. It's a tale that leaves us with heavy hearts and lingering questions. Could this tragedy have been prevented? And how can we protect the most vulnerable among us from becoming collateral damage in adult conflicts? Thank you for joining us in uncovering this chilling case. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.